Hello, we are
Four on Fires.
My name is Pang.
My name is Namu.
My name is Ploy.
And my name is Pooh.
In this video, we'll be exploring about two different chemicals and fascinating reactions between two different chemicals.
In this experiment, we'll observe the reaction between two chemicals and we'll analyze the product that formed as a result.
Understanding reaction like this is not only crucial for us, but also has a real-world application in areas such as material science and environmental chemistry.
Let's go!
Lead nitrate and sodium sulfate. Lead nitrate is an inorganic compound. It commonly occurs as a colorless crystal or white powder. React with sodium sulfate, which results in the formation of lead sulfate, a white solid forming in the solution. Lead nitrate is often used in experiments to study how solid forms in reaction, while sodium sulfate is a common chemical for showing how ions interact with water. We add 1.8 milliliter of lead nitrate to a beaker, then slowly added water while stirring. The same was done with sodium sulfate. When we mixed the two solutions together, we observed the formation of distinct layers, and the mixture became whiter. In this experiment, we observed the formation of lead sulfate from the reaction between lead nitrate and sodium sulfate. This reaction is an example of a double displacement reaction that produces a solid precipitate.
The second one is silver nitrate and sodium carbonate. Silver nitrate is an inorganic compound. It's an odorless, colorless or white crystallized solid reacts with sodium carbonate, which results in the formation of sodium nitrate and silver carbonate. You will see a pale yellow solid forming in the solution. Silver nitrate is a common lab reagent used for studying precipitation reactions. We first added a solution of silver nitrate to a beaker. Then we slowly added sodium carbonate and gently mixed the two together. As the chemicals combined, the solution turned yellow and distinct layers formed, indicating a reaction. In this experiment, we observed the formation of silver carbonate from the reaction between silver nitrate and sodium carbonate. This reaction is an example of a double displacement reaction that produces a solid precipitate. The third one is hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide. Hydrochloric acid is an aqueous solution of hydrogen chloride. It is a colorless solution with a pungent smell, reacts with sodium hydroxide, which results in the formation of sodium chloride. There will be a slight increase in temperature in this reaction. Hydrochloric acid is a strong acid commonly used in labs for studying acid-base reactions, while sodium hydroxide is a strong base essential for exploring neutralization and pH changes. We added 1.8 millimeters of sodium hydroxide to a beaker, mixed it with a small amount of water, and stirred it. The solution was then poured into a glass tube. There was no visible color change. The temperature of the solution increased, showing that a chemical reaction occurred. This reaction is an example of a neutralization reaction that produces a salt and water.
Number 4. Ammonium chloride and sodium hydroxide. Ammonium chloride is an inorganic chemical compound. It is a white crystalline salt. When reacts with sodium hydroxide, which results in the formation of ammonia gas, water, and sodium chloride, the color will slightly change into light blue. Ammonium chloride is a common reagent for studying gas evolution reactions, while sodium hydroxide is a strong base often used to explore neutralization and decomposition. We added 1.8 ml of ammonium chloride to a beaker, slowly added water and stirred it. The same process was repeated with sodium hydroxide. When the two solutions were mixed together, we observed a slight color change to light blue. However, the layers did not separate. In this experiment, we observed the release of ammonia gas from the reaction between ammonium chloride and sodium hydroxide. This reaction is an example of a double displacement reaction that produces ammonia water and sodium chloride.
Number 5, copper sulfate and sodium carbonate. Copper sulfate, a blue compound, react with sodium carbonate, which result in the formation of copper carbonate, a green precipitate. We added 1.8 ml of copper sulfate to a beaker, mix it with a small amount of water, and stir it. The same process was repeated with sodium carbonate. When the two solutions were combined, the mixture turned blue and precipitate formed. Additionally, distinct layers were observed, indicating a reaction. Copper sulfate is a common laboratory reagent, while sodium carbonate is often used in precipitation reaction. In this experiment, we observed the formation of copper carbonate from the reaction between copper sulfate and sodium carbonate. This reaction is an example of double displacement reaction that produce a solid precipitate.
In this experiment,